Episode 3 of Bridgerton Season 4, titled The Field Next to the Other Road, finally gives us what we've been waiting for: real chemistry between Benedict and Sophie. After 2 episodes of setup, this is where their love story actually begins. We pick up with Benedict and Sophie awkwardly sitting in his carriage heading to London. Benedict is hiding his injury from the Cavender fight, trying to make conversation. Sophie is silently fuming because the man she's been crushing on doesn't recognize her without her mask. Then a rainstorm changes everything. Benedict detours to his nearby estate called My Cottage. When they arrive, the caretakers aren't home. Benedict has no idea how to build a fire. Sophie does it instantly. The class difference between them couldn't be more obvious. That night, Sophie hears Benedict crying out in pain. She rushes to his room and finds him with a dangerous fever. His wound from the fight isn't just a bruise, it's a still bleeding gash in his side. She tends to his wound and sits by his bedside all night. In his delirium, Benedict asks her to kiss him, thinking she's the lady in silver from the masquerade. He doesn't realize he's absolutely right. Without Sophie, Benedict would have died from infection or hypothermia. She literally saves his life. The Crabtrees return the next morning. Mrs. Crabtree used to be a maid at Bridgerton House and has known Benedict since he was a child. When she hears what happened at Cavender's estate, she's horrified. She demands Benedict stay in bed and rest for several days before returning to London. She insists Sophie be treated as a guest, not a servant. Mrs. Crabtree immediately picks up on the chemistry between them. The longer Benedict and Sophie stay at My Cottage, the more obvious their connection becomes. Sophie is so used to constantly working that she can't relax. She's literally pulling weeds in the garden when she's supposed to be resting. Benedict, an expert in leisure, coaxes her into having fun. He drags her outside to fly one of Gregory's old kites. They tease each other playfully, but in a much easier, softer way than previous Bridgerton couples. There's genuine friendship building here, alongside the romance. In the study, Sophie is moved by Benedict's paintings. He gets self-deprecating about his art, as usual, but she sees real talent. She gives him a French lesson that's mostly just about focusing on the lips. It's incredibly swoony. Things reach a boiling point when Sophie stumbles upon Benedict swimming naked in the lake. She tries to hide, but he knows she's there. After putting pants on, he demands she show herself. He teases her relentlessly about following him. They walk closer and closer to each other, seemingly unable to help it. When Benedict jokes about her noticing him, a frustrated Sophie blurts out, "I cannot help but notice you." They kiss, soft, sweet, and passionate. Realize he's a gentleman kissing a maid. He backs off and apologizes. Neither seems particularly sorry about it, though. They both return to My Cottage separately with satisfied grins on their faces. But reality crashes in courtesy of Mrs. Crabtree. She separately reminds them both about society's rules and the deeply unfair power dynamics at play. If anyone found out about this kiss, Sophie would be ruined completely. Benedict, being a good man, later tells Sophie he regrets the kiss, which is exactly what every woman wants to hear. It's time to return to London. As they leave, both take wistful looks at My Cottage, knowing what they had there was special, but is now over. Sophie changes back into her maid's dress and hides her necklace. When Benedict asks for her opinion about their travel route, she bitterly says it's not her place. Back in London, the rules of society will separate them again. While Benedict and Sophie fall in love, London is dealing with the Great Maid War. Lady Whistledown writes about how Araminta has been poaching staff from other households. Apparently, Sophie was so skilled that it takes at least 4 maids to replace her. The maid war has real consequences when it hits the Featherington household. Mrs. Varley, their loyal housekeeper, receives an offer from another family. She tries to stay loyal, but asks Portia for her first raise in 20 years. Instead of money, Portia gives her old dresses from 2 seasons ago. Dresses Varley has absolutely no use for. When Varley sees Portia receiving multiple boxes of expensive new gowns, she's had enough. For the first time, we see Varley stand up to Portia. She walks out. The Great Maid War has taken a serious toll. Meanwhile, Francesca has questions about her marriage. She and John are having sex, but it's clearly not satisfying for her. She's stressed about not being pregnant yet. When John mentions her reaching her pinnacle, she has no idea what he means. Things get more confusing when Penelope casually mentions experiencing the pinnacle regularly during an ice cream outing. Francesca asks Violet point blank what the pinnacle is. Violet absolutely cannot give a straight answer. She stammers about it being pleasant and magical. They end up just drinking wine. You'd think Violet would be better at sex education after botching the talk with Daphne. Desperate for real information, Francesca goes to Penelope and demands the truth. No more analogies. Penelope describes what an orgasm actually feels like, with just a hint of biscuit metaphor. At least Francesca finally gets accurate information. Unfortunately, Eloise walks in during this conversation and immediately realizes she's being excluded because she's not married. Poor Eloise keeps getting reminded that being unmarried means being left out. As for Violet, she's navigating her own romance with Lord Marcus Anderson. She admits wanting alone time with him, but worries about how long it's been since she's been intimate with anyone and how her body has changed after having 8 children. Marcus is incredibly patient. He tells her he wants her, and her vulnerability only makes him want her more. He's content just being in her presence. Violet kisses him. That alone time is definitely coming soon. Lady Danbury, meanwhile, is exhausted from being Queen Charlotte's only friend and lady-in-waiting. Charlotte wants her around constantly. Danbury proposes a challenge. She'll find Charlotte an exciting new lady-in-waiting. Now, Danbury just needs to find someone who can actually handle the Queen. Episode 3 shifts this season into high gear. Benedict and Sophie's time at My Cottage shows us what their relationship could be. Playful, genuine, fun, and deeply romantic. But the harsh reality of class differences looms over everything. The question now is whether Benedict will figure out that Sophie is his lady in silver